What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the only sports podcast. That's right, the only sports podcast. I'm Will. That's Casino over there. How we doing today, Casino?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Had a really rough gym today. It was athletic conditioning, and man, I'm not athletic anymore. I'm just not. Just not.
Were
Uh,
you ever athletic?
yeah, I have a state championship at cross country. I used to run like a mother, dude. I was quick.
Yeah.
And then I had kids, got married. COVID happened, and then I gained about 40 pounds, and it's been really tough to get down. 100%.
Yeah. So,
Realistically, I gained from COVID like 30 pounds, and that was that was tough. And then about another 10 after I got married, and I've got it back down. I've got it back down 20 pounds, so get 20 to go.
yeah.
Been working on that.
Dude, I gotta lose 22. It is crazy how what is it? You just eat whatever you want, you don't really do anything, and then you just get fat, and you're like, how did I get fat? When did this happen? I always do stuff. And
Well,
then
I
you
mean,
start,
go
what
for it.
is it? No, you start calorie counting, and then you're just like, oh, I was
Oh,
eating like double the amount of calories I'm supposed to eat every
yeah.
day
For me
for
though,
years.
it never mattered. It really never mattered because I was a runner and I played soccer even after I was, out of high school. I played soccer for years. And I was very active pretty much up until COVID hit. And then I really got into my beer industry that I'm in. And so then I got married, had kids. So it all just snowballed at once where I was in pretty damn good shape. And then boom. And a lot of it has to do with my metabolism, dude. I used to eat, I mean,
It's
even
just
this is
getting
not
older,
I'm not
buddy.
even saying like high school age, but like mid to late 20s, late 20s. Like I could still eat whatever I wanted because I was still fairly active and it would just come right off. And then as soon as
Mhm.
I stopped being active, even now though I'm active again, I can't it does not come off like it used to, man. I can't eat like I used to. There was a point in time where when I was running, dude, I was burning so many calories. I mean, I was running like 10 miles a day, like just killing calories. I went and ate in and out 4 days or 4 times in one day once, and I was just like, I felt fine. Like I
Yeah.
felt fine. Just was like,
No.
oh yeah, didn't gain a pound. Like wild.
Yeah, and now it's like you have one fast food meal and you're just like, "Dude, I gained 5 pounds
I
from it.
gained 5
I'm dead."
pounds. I feel gross for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
I hate eating fast food now. I just absolutely hate it.
Dude, I
Hate it.
can't do it. Yeah, I can't do it. It fucks me
Well,
up.
what's your dinner tonight? What are you having? What are you making?
Well, ironically, tonight I'm making it's me and the kids, and I'm making healthy, like, burgers and fries. I got sweet potato fries. I
Yes.
got, like, grass-fed beef, protein buns. We're going, like, healthy, healthy. I'm
Nice.
on this health kick, Casino. I've already lost, 9
Yeah.
pounds. 9
Nice. I'm
pounds
doing
in
doing how fast?
9 pounds in 18 days.
Hell
Not
yeah.
bad. Not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing baked potatoes, chicken, and stir fry veggies.
Dude, I cannot
Mm.
stand baked potatoes. I
Oh,
can't do it.
what?
I don't like potatoes.
Mm.
that's why I always go sweet potato.
I
But
do love a sweet potato. Like, those are damn good. But see, you can't if you do sweet potato, you don't want to touch it. Like you just want sweet
yeah,
potato. I
I
don't want
just like
anything
a
else.
sweet potato.
It's
Yeah,
just sweet
that's it.
potato. Like
That's it.
maybe even the might like literally just a tiny bit of butter in there just to kind of loosen it up a little bit, but like very, very little. Not like what you put on a regular baked potato. But that's the difference. Like regular baked potato, I'm bloating that shit up. Like tonight, I've got a little shredded cheddar cheese. We'll be doing a little bit of sour cream. That's all I need. A little black and pepper. Mm.
What is it? But speaking of my children, Casino, the craziest. Hold on, we're gonna walk through the day on Saturday, because on Saturday, I don't know if you can tell for those listening or whatever, and my face kind of gets like overlit because I have this light so close, but this is the lowest setting I can put this light on. But if you can see, I'm like really burnt. Like my
Hmm.
face is like burnt to a crisp. If you see like my arm, it like my farmer's tan is ridiculous. And that is because showed up for my son's football practice on Saturday. He had a game at the
Game.
it what?
Thought it was a game.
Well, it's so I-9 here in Vegas, they do this thing where hour practice and then game right after. So you're there for 2 hours, it's an hour game and then an hour practice beforehand. So get there, practice is supposed to have started. All the kids are sitting around with their parents, no coach, right? So another 5 minutes goes by. All the kids are sitting there. Everybody on the team sitting there, like with their parents individually. My son's sitting next to me, like just playing on his phone. I'm like looking around. I'm like, where is the coach? Everybody's here. So then I was like, you know what? It's been 10 minutes. I turned to my son and I'm like, just go grab everybody. We'll start doing like stretches, just start getting ready. So when the coach comes here, just hand it off to the coach and been like, already got him started. You're good, blah, blah, blah. Right. So son gets everybody, all the kids come over. We're doing stretches, all this kind of stuff. And then it's like 20 minutes. We're doing stretches for like 10 minutes, right? 20. So now we're 20 minutes into practice, other teams practicing, and there's no coach still. So then I was just like, all right, let's just start running some plays. Like, let's just start doing some like football plays, right? Some drills and all this kind of stuff. So you can see where this is going. Coach never shows up. So all of a sudden, game's about to
Did you do
start.
the annexation of Puerto Rico?
I did, yeah. I did the credenza, I did the arm bar, I did all these different types of moves. But no, coach never shows up. So then the I-9 people like come over and they're just like, "Hey, who's your team captains?" And then I was like, "Team captains?" I was like, "There's not even a coach here." And then they were just like, "Oh, well, you've been practicing with them, like you just be the coach." And then I
Are you
was like,
allowed to do that without forfeiting?
yeah. I mean, well, because I-9, it's like more like it's kind of that thing every boomer parent hates where it's like the everybody gets a trophy, everybody does a good job, like everybody play like it's like that thing. So it's not like, a competitive league or anything like that. They don't even really keep score, just kind
So
of
what you're
you do it in
saying is
your
your
head.
son's a loser.
Well,
Sorry,
no,
you
he's
you need to tell him that I said that.
but this is like the gap between like little kid football and like high school football,
Yeah.
right? It's just basically like learning the fundamentals. It's not even tackle, it's flag, like it's all that kind of stuff.
Yep, just
So,
prepping him for high school competitive
yeah.
football.
So then this other dad comes up. This other dad shows up right when the game's starting. And he was just like, "Oh, hey, the coach told me last week, like, he wanted me to be the coach this week. And there was because he wasn't going to be here this week." And I like in my head, I was just like, buddy, we've been here for an hour. Like you were supposed to be here for practice. Like his daughter is on the team. So, but he was a nice guy. But I was just
Maybe
like,
he didn't know that portion of it. I don't know.
well, he's been there every game since. Like he's been this was the last game of the season. So he'd been there every previous week. And he was a good dude. He just was like, "Oh, I'm just showing up late, blah 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 blah." So then he's like, so I like basically I'm like, "All right, here you go. Here's the team." And then he's like, "No, you guys been practicing stuff. Like you've been doing the practices. Just coach the team with me. Like who cares?" And I was just like, "All right." So he had a dry erase board. We're literally just in there, like, like calling plays. And we were like, we practiced like 5 or 6 plays. I was literally just asking the kids, I was like, what do you like to do? What play do you like to run? And then he was like, this one kid was like, I really like when teams do reverses. So I was like, all right, let's practice doing a reverse and, like doing all this kind of stuff. I realized when I was coaching football, not only is it fun to be a coach, but I'm also one of those coaches where it was a good dichotomy because the one parent was like, after every play, he'd be like, good job, great job, guys. And then I would be like, 27, you did this. Next time, make sure you do this. 15, that you did this. Next time you do this. My son was the quarterback because what is it? He's been the quarterback all season. He can throw. So then my son would walk over and the coach would be like, great throw, blah, blah, blah. And I would be like, why do you keep throwing it like that? And I would just, like do like that kind of stuff the whole time. But it was, dude, it was fun. It kind of gave me the bug where I was just like, I wish I would have been coach
Yeah, but then
beginning
you
of the
realize it's
season.
not Madden football and you get your ass kicked.
Well, we lost by 2 touchdowns, so we lost, like, 2-0, but usually our team loses, like, 5-0. So, I was like, "Hey, this is an improvement," because I'll tell you what, it was still co-ed because this is the last year it could be co-ed because it cuts off at 13.
Mhm.
So, at 13, then it becomes, like, men, female, all that kinda stuff. But this was the last one where it was co-ed. The girls on the team were like the best players, and there was this one girl where she was like, I love playing defense. And so, like, in the middle of like the first quarter, she kept doing this one thing, and I went over to her and I was like, "Hey, listen, you keep doing this, they keep doing this. Like, the way to counter this is to do this." Literally the next play, she does it to a T and like breaks up a pass they've been completing the whole first quarter. And then she just locked down the entire, it was all dudes on the other team, and we had like 3 chicks and like 4 dudes. So the chicks on the team were like the best listeners and the best athletes, and they listened to literally everything I said and followed it, and it worked. It was, yeah, it was crazy. So
And then your son's
yeah.
just like, "Dad."
Well, no, my son, he was like, because I just kept being like, my son does this thing where he's like, oh, nobody's open. So he just stands there, like holding the ball, like looking for somebody to get open. And I kept being like, kid, you got to throw somebody open. Like, throw it to where they're going to be, not where they are. And then finally, he just starts going down the field when he starts like doing that. And then we almost got a touchdown, but the game ended. And I was like, do you see the difference? Like, it was like, a nice yeah, it was a nice coaching thing.
Yeah, and I
And
saw
then
and then go for it.
yeah, after that night, then I had to go to work that night. My son, my wife, and my other child all go to a party at Casino's friend's house
Yeah.
because one of my wife's coworkers, who's one of her best friends, started dating one of your friends.
Basically
So
an older brother. One of my older brother's best friends, and he's known me since I can't even recall how old.
yeah. So
So,
then you on Saturday night ended up
yeah,
hanging out with my wife and
your
2
wife and 2
kids.
kids, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus
So
100,000 other children there. It was wild.
yeah, then
But
apparently my
but
little my
I could see your youngest just kind of looking at me, and I was like, "Yeah, you've seen me. I
yeah,
do."
he's seen him in the computer.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm
guy
like,
in
"Well,
the
he's been
computer.
over to this house too before, man, but
Yeah,
it's
he's swam in your pool and played with your daughter. He was like, "What kids are gonna be there?" And I was like, the kid you've every time you meet, you just hang out with her the entire time? Like, that kid's gonna be there." And he was just like, "I've never met her.
I
I've never
don't know
met
who you're
her."
talking about."
No. Also, the funny thing
You
is,
missed it. It was a good time. It was a lot of fun, actually. A lot of
dude,
fun.
my 5-year-old before that was like, "I don't wanna bring my swimming trunks. I'm not going in the pool. I don't wanna go swimming."
Oh, dude,
And
by
then
the end of
my
the night, that's all he
wife
was doing.
dude, my wife was like, "Your son has been in the pool for 6 straight hours." Like, never got out of the pool, like,
Yeah.
was
I
in it
mean,
the
there was a
entire
portion
time.
there, before dinner, he just kinda, like, sat on the step, like, hanging out with
Yeah.
my daughter, and they were just kinda just hanging out on the step, and then, um, got my kids all dried up, they ate dinner or whatnot, and then as we were leaving, I go outside to say bye to whoever was outside, which was your wife and your youngest. Your oldest was inside. But yeah, your son was just like at that point, he was finally in the pool the whole time, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." So, anyway, so it has been 15 minutes. Let's
I
talk
know.
about some sports. I'm sure people are tired of hearing us talk about our families because, yeah, who cares?
You know what? Actually, let's stay yeah, exactly. That was a long story to say. That the whole point of that story was Casino hung out with my family while I was at work, and also that's how I got a sunburn. Because I had a beautiful spot under this tree, perfect shade. My chair was under there, it was delightful. And then I just ended up didn't sit in it once, coached the entire game, was in out in direct sun for 2 hours, and just got absolutely torched.
By
Like,
the way, your son is
torch.
tall.
Dude, yeah, he's as tall as you, isn't he?
I mean, I leaned over a little bit to send you the photo, but I mean, he's damn close, dude.
Yeah.
He's tall, and I'm
Well, I'm like
5'11".
yeah, I'm like 6'1", so he's gotta be 5'10".
Oh,
He's,
yeah, no,
like,
he
right there.
I'm just taller than him, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild.
At 14. He's good.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm telling you, he's gonna be a monster if he commits to
he
it.
already is a monster.
I mean, a good one. But since we're talking about football, Casino, let's
Let's
transition
talk about him.
to the big news, which is actually there's two big quarterback news, and coincidentally, both of them happen to be in the AFC North, which is Aaron Rodgers is reuniting with oh my God, Mike McCarthy, who is now the head coach of the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is going back to the Steelers on a 1-year deal worth $25 million, which is insane. Thoughts on this, Casino? Rodgers
I
being
I
back with the
I just
Steelers.
I don't care that Rodgers going back to the Steelers. Like, it is what it is. I think it's dumb for the Steelers organization, who's been typically a great organization their entire career, right? Like their entire existence, like the Steelers. That's what you want. You want to go to the Steelers. They're a winning franchise, right? This and that. But they've struggled to do anything in the playoffs. Struggled to get to the playoffs, struggled to do anything in the playoffs. It was time to rebuild, time to reset. You got rid of the old coach, right? Why are you bringing back this dinosaur quarterback who is up and down? I mean, when he's playing, like there was a couple games last year where we were just like, damn, like that's old school Rodgers. Like that is
Yeah.
he is playing phenomenal. He's got his head in the game. Get your head in the. He's doing outstanding. But I don't get it. I don't get it. First off, yeah, don't get it with the Steelers and why they're doing that, and they should just hit the rebuild and reset, figure it out, and get a younger quarterback. Like, just do it.
Well,
Secondly, go for it.
no, I was just going to say it's also weird that they're in need for a quarterback regardless. We talked about this regardless of if Rodgers re-signed or not. Rodgers is 42 years old.
42.
So, regardless, you should be in the market for a quarterback, and instead of investing in a young quarterback, again, everybody thought Malik Willis was going to end up going there. He didn't end up going there. They didn't really target a quarterback in the draft outside of Drew Atler. It's just one of those things where you just go, I feel like the Steelers, since Big Ben left, have just been like, oh, yeah, we're going to focus on everything but quarterback. In a league where basically quarterbacks are the reason why we have all these teams. We just did the Super Bowl bubble last episode. That was 99% the teams that could win, we think could win the Super Bowl this year is almost 100% based on who's quarterbacking their team. Like that's the NFL. So for the Steelers to, like you're saying, be this storied franchise and just go into every season just being like, I don't know what we'll do. We'll figure it out at the most important position on the field is just weird to me. It's such a weird play. And again, it's a weird play that is not working. Do you want to guess the last time, the year that the Steelers won a playoff game?
14.
Close. They won it in the 2016-2017 season. The last game they won was January 15th, 2017. It was against the Chiefs. And the only reason they won that game is because their kicker set an NFL playoff record by making 6 field goals. So they did not score a touchdown in that game and won in 2017. So it's almost been a full decade since a Steelers team has won a game in the playoffs. That's insane. That's insane. They're on the same trajectory as teams like the Cardinals, the Jets, the Raiders, the Dolphins, like all teams you don't think of as, I mean, outside of what? The Dolphins of the 70s and 80s and the Raiders of the 70s. Like, you don't think of any of those teams of being like storied franchises,
Right.
right? It's sad to kind of just see what the Steelers have become, which is just honestly an afterthought. Like you
But
come sometimes just forget the Steelers are in the league.
right.
Like,
And my second thing with the whole Rodgers thing is, dude, he put them in a bind that like you don't tell them before the draft if you're coming back or not. That is so fun. What he did there is he guaranteed himself the starting position.
yeah,
He just guaranteed
yeah.
because they're like, "Oh well, we think he's coming back. We shouldn't draft. We don't. Should we draft? Should we draft one? I don't know. Should we bring in another guy? I don't know, dude. I'm just over Rodgers. He needs to retire. Go go away. Just go away. Like, I can't stand the dude. I don't like that he tries to make himself the center of attention every single time. And I mean, he does. It works. It works. Like everybody was talking about this whole Steelers thing. Who's going to be their quarterback? Is he coming back? Is he not? Is he coming back? And he waits at the right time. My dog is going to puke. This is fun. So yeah, I don't know what was going on there. He had like a fur ball or something. But yeah, no, Rodgers is the worst, and the Steelers organization to even let this happen, they need to figure themselves out. They need to figure it
So
out.
Rodgers last year, 66% completion percentage, 3,322 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Again, not a bad season, but also you just look at this Steelers team and you just go, in the AFC North, there is another thing we can talk about in terms of quarterbacking, which is there are reports coming out that by the start of the season, of this upcoming regular season, the Browns are going to throw Deshaun Watson in as their starting quarterback again. Like he is the front runner at the moment to be their starting quarterback, which if you're Rodgers, that's a thing where you go, all right, we're in a division with the Ravens, who, regardless of what you think of the Ravens, they got a new coach. They might be in not a rebuild, but maybe a reset to how that organization is run, because obviously John Harbaugh kind of got chased out of town there. Then you look at the Bengals and you go, well, for years with how they've handled Joe Burrow and just not being able to find him a suitable offensive line, not being able to figure out that defense since the 1 year they went to the Super Bowl. And then you have the Steelers where you just go, oh, yeah, every year they just neglect to pay any attention to the most important position on the field in quarterback. And instead, we're just like Casino saying, they're just waiting till, the start of OTAs to be like, oh, yeah, I guess Aaron Rodgers is coming back 1 year. So it's one of those things where you look at the Steelers team and you go, are they a win now team? Yes, because their quarterback is the oldest quarterback in the league, or one of the oldest. I don't know who's older, Flacco or Rodgers. I'm assuming it's Rodgers. No, it's 100% Rodgers. But he's the oldest quarterback in the league now, and it's one of those things where you go, you have no backup plan, because the what is it? The other Steelers quarterbacks on your roster are Mason Rudolph. We've already seen a season with Mason Rudolph as the Steelers quarterback. He left the Steelers and then came back. So it's one of those things where you just go, might be a great backup, might be a great locker room guy. We already saw that on the field, what he does for the Steelers team. And unless it's trying to beat Myles Garrett with his helmet, he's not doing much on the field. The other one is Drew Adler, who everybody was like, I can't believe the Steelers drafted him. And then the other one is Will Howard, who is as much an unproven commodity as the other two. So you have Rodgers, and then the future is question mark, hands up. That's been the question since they got rid of Big Ben, or not got rid of, but since he retired. So now you look at the Cleveland Browns and you just go, okay, so last year, even if you didn't like him, which Casino and I have obviously mixed feelings about Shador Sanders, at least Shador Sanders was interesting to watch. At least he got butts and seats. At least he got people talking about the Cleveland Browns. Now the reports are that Deshaun Watson is going to be the day one starter for the Cleveland Browns. Like, thoughts on that, Casino? How many times are the Browns just going to keep trying this Deshaun Watson experiment before they realize that they messed up in the way everybody knew they did with that massive
I don't know, man.
contract?
The fact that this guy is still even being talked about in the league and brought back, I have no idea. I can't believe any team would be touching this guy right now, like at all.
Because he's usually the one that does the touching
There it is. I knew you were
inappropriately.
gonna pick up on this. Let's
Yeah.
go. No, it's
He's the
it's it's
one.
wild the fact that he is even talked about or even thought of as the starter for the team. And they're doing it because of money, dude. That is the shittiest thing. They're doing it because of money. And regardless how you and I, as you said it, feel about like Shador Sanders and whatnot, you know, work with a younger quarterback. Try to develop a younger quarterback, not a quarterback that is streaky as hell. He had a couple good seasons, right? And then he started molesting people and doing all the horrible touching bullshit and whatnot. But still, I'm so over. I'm so over Deshaun Watson. I don't even want to talk about him anymore.
No, it's just one of those things. Does that look better? Does this look better? No, that looks better. It's one of
Yeah,
those
you look great.
things. Thank you so much. Where again, Deshaun Watson, everybody is still, I feel like in the Browns organization, everybody is still living off the prospect of what he was in 2020. Again, we're going into the 2026-2027 season. So we have not seen Deshaun Watson be Deshaun Watson in what will eventually in this season be 7 years. So in 7 years, he was never the
That's just
same
the
again.
excuse that they're using, and it's because the money, dude.
Yeah.
He got paid
It's
way too much, and they have to try to justify. They're hoping, they're praying that they put him out there and he does well, like well, not even great, just well enough,
just
right?
good enough than what he's done.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because with the Browns so far, he has had in the 2022, 2023, 2024 season, he has had a years where he threw 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Those were in 6 games, 6 games, and 7 games. So again, I don't know what you saw in those what handful of games in the past 3-4 years where you just go, oh yeah, he's better than anything we've seen from Shador Sanders or even Dylan Gabriel. Like again, at this point, just make it a quarterback competition between the two rookies and do what you did last year. If all of a sudden you start the season and Shador Sanders isn't bad or is bad, put in Dylan Gabriel, switch them back and forth. At least then this year the Browns have the easiest schedule in the league. We talked about that last episode. So this is the year where, unlike the Steelers, you have young guys who again have shown flashes, even if they haven't, done what Deshaun Watson did when he was a rookie and just blow the doors off, right? Where you're just like,
mhm.
oh my God, this guy's him. But at this point, he's not him anymore. So you still have Shador Sanders and Dylan Gabriel there where you go, maybe we have something here. We have an easy schedule. We have weapons on this offense. Judkins was taking the world by storm at running back last year before he got hurt. So if you're the Browns, I feel like there's way too many things on this team. I like their offense. I think they have pieces on the offense. Their defense is always top 5. It's like all you need is one guy to go in there and just not cost you games. And in a weakened AFC North, I feel like you can, I don't know, be kind of in that fringe, like, oh, we're 1 or 2 games out of the wild card. Like things fall our way and who knows? Like we've seen a Browns team like this when it was led by Baker Mayfield. Like we've seen a good defense, competent quarterback. Like that Browns team, again, if they would have just kept Baker and not done this disastrous Deshaun Watson trade, who knows where the Browns would be now? But always have a top 5 offense. If you have an average or top 5 defense, if you have an average offense, who knows? And I feel like with Deshaun
You're
Watson,
fighting for wild card spots, dude.
with Deshaun Watson, you already know what he is. We've seen what he's been for 7 years. He's a guy who doesn't want to play football
And
anymore.
especially in that division, right? I mean, I know you have Joe Burrow, right? And he's great, but the rest of that team, not really that good, right? I mean, they have some offensive pieces, but besides that, I'm not high on the Bengals. You and I haven't been. And we called them
No.
dumpster fires the last few years, and everybody was super high on them. And we were
And
right, they
we've
were
been
wrong.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we were right and they were wrong. Great analysts out there. They're fantastic. I mean,
Bengals are going to the Super Bowl this year because apparently people don't watch football. Like it's just one of those things where you go, oh yeah, loved what we saw from the last 2 years
yeah, and then you're
where
going to
they
bring
couldn't
back
stop
the
a nosebleed.
Steelers. The Steelers are bringing back Rodgers, old quarterback. They don't know what to do with some of those offensive pieces. There's a struggle, there's a power struggle, and reuniting the coach and the quarterback. I don't know if that's going to be a good thing. Like
I also, again, I thought those two hated each other. Now
I
everybody's acting like it's a happy family,
Oh, it's a
reunion.
reunion. It's gonna be
Yeah,
great. Look, they're gonna do great. And you know
I'm
what?
pretty one chased the other out of
Stop
town.
investing in the defense, right?
Yep.
You were able to invest in the defense for so many years because you had long-term quarterbacks, right? With Big Ben, right?
Yeah.
Like So now you need to figure it out, man. You need to figure it out. You need to stop going with defense, get yourself some offensive pieces, starting with the quarterback, get rid of the old guy. So yeah, so the Steelers are there's got a lot going on there, right? And Cincinnati, again, I think still won't be great. And then the Browns, like you could shine. You can finally you're obviously not going to beat the Ravens. Well, at least we think so. They might implode like they did last year, but the Browns, you have a shot. You have a shot to be getting out of just the dump, right? You're not going to be great. You won't be great, but you have a shot to get out of the dump and at least I don't know, on the side of the street. There you go.
What a
You
ringing endorsement.
yeah, no.
What a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, people will
It's
actually see you all trashy on the street and whatnot, but they won't see you at the dump. I don't know.
yeah.
I was trying to make some sort of
I mean, you
analogy there. It
failed.
didn't.
You failed
Yeah,
spectacularly, but it
yeah.
was still great. Um,
I'm gonna go to the dump now. Have a good one.
but yeah, the Browns have by far the easiest schedule in the league, and guess what? Them starting Deshaun Watson is going to make that mean nothing. No one is going to take the Browns to do anything. At least with Shador Sanders, you were go, well, maybe year two he clicks. Because I'll tell you what, the next team
Look what
above them.
happened with Drake May and the easiest schedule in the
Mhm.
league in year 2.
Exactly the
You
point
you
I was
have
making,
you have a
because
quarterback that is somewhat competent, right, out there. I don't think Shador is anywhere near Drake May's level, but,
no,
I
but
mean,
I think we both think he's better than current day Deshaun
yeah,
Watson.
yeah,
Like,
you could take that team to a wild card. You could take that team to a wild card.
yeah,
There
especially with
there's
that
there's high
defense,
potential. There's high
best
potential.
best defensive player in the league and Miles Garrett. Like, they again, most of these
Go out
teams,
there, score 2 touchdowns, you win a game.
yeah, you don't think Joe Burrow would sell half of his offense to get the Bengals or to get the Browns defense as the Bengals defense?
Dude,
Like,
all he
he would
needs to do
literally
is just
be
get rid
like,
of everybody except for Jamar Chase. Just
yeah.
everybody but Jamar Chase on offense, and, I mean, that's pretty much where he is now. But, yeah, give himself a shot.
Dude, if he could do a Madden trade where he was just like, "We'll give you 2 first-round picks, our entire offense, and you give us your entire defense."
Yeah.
I feel like he would be happy to
Entire
do that.
offensive line. Like, he's like, "I will go out there, I will be the center, I'll snap it to myself, you know, just snap it to myself, and I'll do" it's basically the same thing with my current offensive line.
Yeah,
So,
and I'll tell you what, we talked about young quarterbacks. I bet, because 'cause I'm gonna be one of them, there's gonna be a lot of people who talk football as who are going to be picking the Saints to be the surprise team to double their win total from last year.
I got
They
Giants.
have the second easiest schedule. They got Tyler Shuck, who showed signs last year. Like, again, if the Saints were just bringing in Joe Flacco again, nobody talking about the Saints. Like, because the Saints have this young interesting quarterback, young offensive head coach. Like, they're just being like, oh yeah, everybody's like, we liked what we saw from the Saints last year. Let's double their win total. They're in a very winnable NFC South. You could say the very same thing about the Browns, who are in a very winnable AFC North, because who knows what the Ravens are going to be with their new head coach? Who knows what the Steelers going to look like with their new head coach and an older Rodgers? Like, again, outside of Tom Brady, when quarterbacks are done, like, it doesn't happen gradually. It's like one season. It's one season, then all of a sudden Peyton Manning can't throw a football anymore. Like, it's like Rodgers again. He looked okay and sometimes great in a lot of those games last year, but this could also be the year where he looks awful and then okay in a lot of games. And then where are you? Like, again, they don't have the Mike Tomlin safety net of he always finishes the season with a winning record. They have Mike McCarthy, who with prime Aaron Rodgers got to one Super Bowl and then never got close again. Like, and again, that one Super Bowl those guys won together was 16 years ago.
Hmm,
16 years ago.
jeez. That's
That's
what it
crazy.
jeez. Oh,
Yes,
oh.
Steelers Packers was
Yeah, and
2010, 2011.
and
Yeah.
in my mind, I was like, "Yeah, that was when I was 20. That wasn't too long ago."
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you forget we're old, Casino. My
dude, you
back
know what's
is
crazy? The crazy thing to think is we are closer to 40 than we are 30.
yeah, yeah, we're
I don't
over the
like that.
threshold.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
And my back's closer to 107. So
Oh,
that is than it is 50,
my back's
which it
already at
feels.
107.
Dude, yesterday we played pickleball and I threw up my
You
back
really
playing
like you
pickleball.
really like pickleball.
Dude, my mother-in-law is like a legitimate pro pickleball player. She's amazing at it, and so
You
she
know,
just takes.
I could see her being pretty good at pickleball.
Well, apparently she used to play like almost like pro tennis, like she played like semi-pro tennis. So those instincts just kick in, and then she literally just kicks my
I
wife
mean,
and I's ass.
she does have some shoulders.
Yeah, and dude, I'm telling you, when she was on the
And
court,
that's not me
it
trying to be like make it weird. Like, no, like, yeah,
dude,
she does have a body frame of a tennis player. Like, that
yeah,
would make a lot of that makes a lot more sense now. That makes a lot
yeah.
more sense now.
Me and my wife were trying to 2v1 her yesterday in pickleball. She still killed us. And I mean like 10 to 2 killed us, like destroyed us.
That
But
makes a lot more sense. I
yeah,
mean,
my back is in pain. You know what? What is it? Let's move on from football casino. Let's actually move to the NHL.
okay,
So let's talk about the NHL. We'll talk about the NBA in a second, but the Western Conference Finals is set. The
hmm
Eastern Conference or the Central Conference Finals will be set tonight after a game
so
seven.
the no, it's the Eastern Conference will be said.
That's what I meant. Why does this say conference finals? Oh, that's dumb. Okay. Yeah.
It's
Go
their
ahead.
yeah. It's how yes, you're good.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But no, yeah, no, this was good. You know how I said, oh, they're going back. The Canadians, they won that game 5. Oh man, it's going back to Canada, going back to Montreal. The Canadians, they were gonna absolutely smoke them. Like they were gonna just take charge and just go in there and win it on home ice. Well, that really wasn't the case. Which was quite awesome. Um, Sorry. So what happened? This was a great game. So the game opens up. The Sabres score within the first minute of the game, and I was like, okay, okay, here we go. You know, we got some. They're fighting here. They're fighting here, and then within the next 10 minutes, the Canadians put up 3 goals. Enough 3 goals in 10 minutes to where they ended up pulling. The Sabres pulled Alex Lyon, and they put in. I do not know how to say this name. Uko. It is Ukko Pekka Lukonen. It's
You nailed
UKKO.
it.
Yeah, dude. UKKO hyphen PKKA, and then last name LUUKKONEN. Yeah, I have no idea how to say his name. I mean,
Buddy, I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm worse
that's
at
wild.
names
But
pronunciations than you are.
he gets in there and absolutely shut the Canadians down. He had 18 shots against and 0 goals allowed. He just showed up, man. Absolutely showed up. And then that's when the offense for the Sabres decided, you know what? We're gonna go put this away. And boy, did they. They ended up winning 8-3. They scored 7 unanswered goals in Montreal, which was hysterical because obviously I told you I'm a Bruins fan. I can't stand the Canadians. Like that is my least favorite team in all of hockey. And so I'm cheering for the Sabres. Go Sabres. But it was enough to where they finally did pull Jacob Dobes out of net for Montreal, and they put in Jacob Fowler, and he still let in 1 goal on 2 shots. So yeah, not so great. Not so great for him either. So it is what it is. And yeah, great game. Now we go back to Buffalo, and I am really excited. That is tonight. I can't wait for this game. I will be watching this game. It starts at 4:30. It's coming up. It's coming up, man. I can't wait. I'm going to ask the wife if we can go out, and
Ooh.
go out and go do something just so I can watch this game. Because we don't have access to this game. Actually, you know what? I might have access to this game. We'll see.
It should be on Disney Plus, shouldn't it be?
Well, so see some of the games here. Let me actually pull it up. Some of the games they've been playing on ESPN. Some games they've been
Oh no, this
playing.
one is ESPN.
This one
No,
is
but that's
ESPN.
Disney Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll be able to get this one. I'll be able to get this one. They had other ones where you could only do it if you had YouTube TV or HBO
Yeah, yeah,
Max or
yeah.
whatever it was, but no, this one I'll be able to watch. So maybe I'll just stay home. Have a couple beers here. And speaking of beers, I want to talk to you about this. Have you seen the Sabre beer holders that they've had?
We talked about it on this show.
Okay,
Yes.
I got to
Yes,
bring
I
it back. I'm
have.
sorry, dude. They're so cool.
I love them. Yeah.
They're so cool. Apparently, they've been
The
selling on eBay for like a shit ton of money,
Well,
like
that's
two
just
to three
because
hundred, $200 to $300.
dude, our society right now is so awful because the second people go, "Oh my god, that thing's so cool," a bunch of douchebags just buy all of them and then be like, "Well, if you think they're cool, pay 5 times the price of them." And you just go, "No, no, I just thought they were cool. That doesn't mean I'm gonna take a second mortgage on my house to own it." Like, I mean, my son, what is it? Tries to get into Pokemon cards, and it's just like, buddy, pick a different hobby. It's not happening. We're not paying $300 for cards. But the saber beer sword,
It's
it
so
does look
cool.
so cool.
It's the coolest thing. Like it's almost and there's no bubble, there's no issue with it to where, like how you have like Das Boot and everything, like those
Mhm.
weird ones that like all of a sudden the bubble will pop on you and then the beer goes flying.
Yeah.
They're just I would chug so much beer out of this damn thing. Like I'm jealous of Buffalo Saber fans that they get to walk around with just a beer saber and it just looks lovely. Just looks lovely. And they should win just for that. They should win just for that.
Wait, I'm
Um,
trying to pull it up.
yeah, you're good. So while you pull that up, we did have that will finally give us our final four, and we didn't talk about it last episode as we had a pretty much a loaded episode. But the Knights after they beat it's so good.
That looks so
It's
cool.
so cool.
Look at that.
Uh
Great idea. It's awesome.
it's one of the greatest marketing things I've ever seen.
Also, I mean,
It's
it's
so
right
great.
there in the name. I am shocked the Golden Knights do not have a Knights helmet beer mug you can drink out of that they sell at the stadium. Missed opportunity.
I
Missed
mean, hell, at this
opportunity.
point, I mean, do a sword. I mean, the Knight's secondary logo is, the two swords with the star. Like, why not? Pretty much. I mean, yeah, it'd be a cop off of, the fucking saber, but I don't care. I
No,
would love
who
to drink
cares?
out of a
That's what I'm
sword.
saying. Do a Knight's helmet, do a shield. You can get the sword, the beer saber, and the beer shield. Have a shield,
And do
put
the
a little
shield
cap
full of
on
pop.
it.
No, do the shield as like popcorn.
Oh, and then the beer as the saber. And also for the kids, you can get soda in it too. Doesn't have to be beer. Dude, again, put us
And
in charge of
no,
marketing.
no, no, no. That's gonna be how many of those swords would be just spilled over
Well,
everything?
this is that's actually my question. Does this have a cap you can put at the end of it, or do you just have to hold it and drink it?
You just have to hold it and drink it.
Then okay, then ours would if for the Golden Knights, it would have a cap at the end. So you could actually swing it
Oh,
around.
so
It,
so it
cap.
would basically be like a flask. Is what you're looking at.
Yes, a child's flask. I'm going to market that. A children's flask. Honestly, not a bad idea. You just name it something different. How many times has your kid spilled juice on them
All
because
the
they're trying to
time.
drink it out of a regular cup?
All the time, dude.
Did that be the commercial? You'd be like, "How many times does this happen to you?" It's a kid spilling juice all over
Watching
them.
my watching my son eat cereal. He loves cereal. And we do healthy cereal for everybody out there, just throwing that out there. And but watching him, it doesn't matter because he doesn't get half the food in his mouth. Like he's two and a half, so like he's doing it, but he'll be like watching cartoons or whatever, and he starts dumping it before it gets to his mouth and just half the milk. I have to
Oh
change
yeah.
him. I have to change him every single time. I will not change him into his like full day clothes until after. I mean, there's times where we're working on his potty training thing right now. There's times where I will not change him out of anything from the night until he is done eating his cereal because he will be just covered in milk. I've tried to teach him, can't figure it out. I can't. I'm done. I just can't. I'm just gonna let
Yeah,
him eventually figure it out. But
as we all had to do.
but
It's one of
anyway,
those
so
things.
going back to the Knights, like I said, I know we didn't talk about it after the the Knights won
Wait,
the
hold
last
on.
two.
Wait, we're still on beer, and it's Golden Knights and Avalanche related. Somebody said the Buffalo Saber is goated, the beer stick obvious, and then the Hurricanes beer skate is another solid addition to the hockey booze vessel list. But hey, Avalanche, hear me out. I will dog walk myself around Ball Arena for one of these. And what he's talking about is how cool would this be?
Oh, that's so cool.
Like the thing, the dogs in the snow put
Yeah,
around
this what the
their.
St. Bernards wear.
Yeah. That I mean, again, you're just leaving if you're these hockey organizations, you're just leaving money on the table. People would buy these. They would buy the shit out of them. Look at the
Yeah, but
popcorn
here's the thing,
buckets.
go back to that one. I can tell you what's already gonna happen with this one is once you get down to the end, it's gonna be a beer on, one of the sides, so you're gonna be there doing this, just back and forth, just
Yeah.
trying to get that last bit of beer out.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta put a slip, like, kinda in the back right here to where it kinda goes in, right? To where it kinda makes, like, almost like a funnel kinda thing, but, again, I think it could work. And then again, Golden Knights, you have the knight helmet. It's on all of your logos. Just put beer in it. Do the sword pop or the shield popcorn. That's a good idea. But now you can actually talk about a hockey casino, now
You're
that
good
we
now.
talked about what you can drink beer out of.
I
What?
mean, I'm fine with that, I told you, you know that, I'm good with it, fine. Um, so I don't know if you saw this, but so after the Golden Knights beat the Ducks, the team and the new coach, John Tortorella, they did not do the interview after the game. And, you know, okay, I was like, okay, here comes a fine and all that stuff. But apparently that was not harsh enough. So they lost a second round pick and Tortorella was fined $100,000. Do you think that that is a little too much or what's your take on that?
Well, was there a reason given why they didn't do the interviews after?
So there was talks. I don't know why this didn't. There was talks about the plane situation, which is bullshit. Like you had time to figure this out. Um,
So they just didn't want to?
they just didn't
That's
go,
so
to my
weird.
knowledge.
But see, I think that's the reason
So
why
he's
they
had.
made it so harsh was because if teams just start going, "Oh, we don't wanna do that. We'll pay
So I mean, there had
$100,000." Like,
been
who
warnings,
cares?
previous warnings, issued to the club, regarding their compliance with media regulations. But yeah, I think this was a bit harsh. The Knights have an opportunity to appeal. I think they will appeal. I don't think that they will. They'll probably get their second round pick back, but they'll probably lose a later round. A second round pick is real hefty. Like that is real hefty because in
Yeah,
the
I
NHL,
agree.
like that actually picks mean something in the NHL, right?
Yeah.
So this is rough. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, but
Again,
I
I think
think
it's more a warning to other teams than it is a
yes.
punishment to the Golden Knights. I think they're making an example out of them, and then again, because nobody's gonna care about the follow-up of like, "Oh, they appealed and they got their pick back." Like, this is just the initial, like, "Holy shit, they got a pick and $100,000 fine?" Like,
Well,
that's gonna
the
be the thing
coach
that sticks.
so the Golden Knights
Well, yeah,
and
the
head
coach.
coach, both got fined. Or
Damn,
no,
that
no.
is
It
crazy.
says it's Golden Knights head coach. That's what I thought. For some reason, as I was reading this, it sounded like they fined the Knights organization as well. No, but they did with the second round pick. Yet I think it's quite hefty. I'm fine with the fine situation. Totally fine the coach, fine the organization because they have been warned before not doing this. And yeah, it's wild that a second round pick like that's just no joke. That's no joke. So
Yeah.
that kind of really hurts the team. And obviously, they're going to think twice about doing that going forward. I'm sure they'll do all the media, but they might do, the whole Marshawn Lynch thing. I'm just happy to, I I'm just here or whatever
Oh,
it was.
I'd put money on somebody saying, "I'm just here so I don't get fined." I'd put
So
hardcore
great.
money on it. I'd
That's so
put
funny. Well,
uh,
yeah, no, I'm really excited. So game one for the Western Conference Series is Wednesday. I would assume after we find out who is the winner tonight, theirs will be Thursday. I don't know if that is already pushed out. It might already be on the schedule as Thursday, but yeah, really excited for game seven tonight.
No, game one is also Wednesday for
Oh,
the Eastern
nice.
Conference
All
Finals.
right. So
Yeah.
the Hurricanes can look for another sweep. Dude, oh man, that they had so much rest. Do you think that's going to just like in sports in general? Do you think too much rest in a playoff is detrimental to the team, or do you think that actually helps them?
Honestly, I would honestly like to do like a deep dive like study of whether getting the buy like getting a buy or in sports or getting a rest, like getting a long period of time before you play the end of one series and the start of another, or the end of one like the regular season, the start of the postseason. I want like a comprehensive study of if that actually works, because I always feel like, again, if you're a player, you go, oh, well, I want the rest so my body can heal. But then you always hear, stories about where it's like, oh, that Giants team, that beat your Patriots both times. It was like that was a wild card team that just kind of just kept up with momentum. Like, and it was just like no time to stop and think if you should even be there or like what you're doing right. It's just like, hey, we got another game. Like, we don't have time to like stop and think about this. And I feel like so many times where we see, like you've even said it with hockey, where team wins best team of the year. What's the
The
trophy?
President's Trophy?
So they win the President's Trophy, and then it's like they never win the Stanley Cup. Like, how many times in football or basketball where it's just, I mean, we just saw it in the NBA with the Pistons and the Celtics. Those were the two best teams all year in the East. And then it's just like got rest, played, lower seeds, got smacked by both of them. And now they are not even sniffing like an NBA final. So to me, I would rather have my team just be like the scrappy underdog who is always the underdog, like that is playing the better teams that have more rest, than be the juggernaut who's just like
Yeah.
waiting for my next victory.
As long as and we'll talk hockey again on Wednesday, leading into both of those games, but and we'll talk about injuries and whatnot. But as long as teams and players are, not riddled with injuries, then
Yes.
yeah, I am all for with just keep playing. Just keep playing, just keep
Yep.
playing. It keeps the fire, it keeps their mental game on. And yes, the other team has more time to plan for the teams. It's like, okay, we have so the Hurricanes sitting there go, oh, we have to plan for the Habs or we have to plan for the Sabres. Let's deep dive into every single thing that they've been doing. They have time to sit in the room, study, figure it out, and that is all helpful. But you also got to just be on the ice to do it. You got to be on the ice to do it. So
Yeah.
I'm for just keep rolling as long as as long as injuries don't pile up. In that case, I'm just like, yeah, give us as much rest as we can. We need to close out a series so we can get some rest.
Yeah.
Bring
I
back some
agree.
players.
Well, yeah, but again, it's also one of those things where, again, you can see why you try to get home field advantage and all that kind of stuff. Like you said, like it's a long season, especially. So you don't want to risk your players being injured, playing too many minutes, all that kind of stuff. So again, I think there's pros and cons to both. I just think if you did the research, I feel like team that just never stops playing is like going to be more successful than stop, start, stop, start. Especially the Hurricanes, like you're saying, every series they played was just sweep, sweep, sweep. And 7 games. Now it's going to be like, or I'm sorry, or the Canadians where they went to 7 in the last series. So these two teams are battle tested in the playoffs where you go, maybe that helps. Like maybe they just go out there and they're like, dude, these guys are like, they've been what? The Hurricanes last played their game, what, a week ago?
Oh,
They
dude,
last
I know.
they haven't played a game since May 9th.
Hmm.
They're going to be 10 days in between the last game and this game. So they might again.
No,
Also,
I mean it would
if
be 11 days. 11
oh, because
days.
it'd be Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
So
wild. That's a long time,
that's
too.
dude, that's a long time. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be confident. I wouldn't be confident that the Hurricanes are just going to sweep them like they did last time. That's too much rest off. It's too much. But is your pick right now, Casino? You still think it's going to be Knights and Hurricanes?
I do. I 100% do. And just what John Tortorello has done with he's unlocked the offense. He has unlocked the offense. The Knights, we're kind of we'll we'll talk more about this on Wednesday, but essentially the Knights, they have the two leading point scorers in the postseason and the leading scorer, the tied the two leading scorers for the postseason as well in points
Mhm.
and in goals. So, and they're different, and two of them are different players. So, like, or there's out of three players have those four titles right now. That's wild, man.
That is
That's
crazy.
that's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, and when you have one of the players, Brett Howden, who scored, I think, 12 goals in the regular season, if I recall correctly, 12 goals in the regular season. He has 8 now, and 3 of them shorthanded. Like, dude,
Yeah,
like you
I
had
know.
all season to score goals, and then you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. And then within a handful of weeks, you're like, I'm going to put up 8. Let's just do it. Let's go. I mean, it's wild, and he's on a smaller line too. He's not even on the top line, so it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on, let's get to the NBA. Let's finish off there. Top her off with the NBA.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to save NBA for the end because again, we're getting to the point now where only 4 teams remain, and it was one of those this has been one of those seasons where the West came down to the Western Conference Finals everybody thought, which was everybody was saying Spurs Thunder from the get-go, right? For obvious reasons, they were clearly the 2 best teams in the entire
I
league,
can't wait
and this one,
tonight,
yeah,
5:30.
oh, it's gonna be I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna be oh, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be
Yeah,
so good. I
I'm
just
gonna I'm gonna watch it. It's on Peacock. I'll be watching it.
Peacock, I do kinda like the Peacock broadcast. I like the NBC broadcast. They're good.
I do too, and I watch as you know, I watch a lot of international soccer or
Yeah.
um, yeah, and the NBC broadcasts, they always do really well. They always do. I have always enjoyed them.
I'll tell you what, I hate not just because I don't like Amazon, I hate when any game I'm watching, mostly this year it's been basketball, the even when it was NBA or NFL during the regular season, I hate Prime. I hate the layout of Prime. I hate how they just combine everything where it's like, oh, here's the stuff included with Prime, also mixed with movies you have to rent or buy yourself. It's like, why would we do this? Why would you just make it a system where it's like, here's everything you paid for mixed with a bunch of stuff you have to pay for? The layout is awful. It's every single time I've watched an NBA game, it's glitched. It's glitched or it's done the thing where it like buffers or the resolution gets really shitty. Not my internet because doesn't happen on any other platform I watch sports on. Only Prime Video. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So thank God this series looks like it's going to be on Peacock until we get to Cavaliers Knicks, which is going to again, I don't know why Amazon it's like every third playoff game is just on Prime. I watch the NBA all season, have no idea at the start of a game if it's on 9 different channels. Like I'm always have to flip around. Finally, I just get frustrated and Google it. And then I'm like, oh, of course, it's on Prime Video tonight. Didn't even think about that. Didn't even think that was an option. But that being said, Casino, last night on Prime Video, we had Pistons Cavaliers. It was game 7 in Detroit. And
Was it though?
pretty
Like,
much pretty much from the get-go, it was just Cavaliers right from the start, never lost the lead, never looked back. Pistons never looked like they had a shot. Shout out to Philadelphia 76ers legend in Tobias Harris, who has been by far the best player in these playoffs next to Cade Cunningham for this Pistons team
until this game. Until this game.
until this game when he reared his ugly head of what we used to
Oh,
complain about on the Sixers. He played 23 minutes, had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and was a minus 23 when he was on the court. So,
Tobias
right
Harris.
on
Yeah,
cue. Yeah, right on cue. And again,
yeah,
Cade
and then
Cunningham wasn't
minus
much better.
dude, no, he was worse, dude. He was minus 32, man.
I know. And he
He
had
had he played
13
37
points.
dude. Oh, the biggest one is 0 for 7 from behind the arc. Oh,
Yeah. That's
oh,
again, we have talked about
turned
all
over the ball.
postseason long. we've talked about this postseason where if Cade Cunningham does not average at least 25 points minimum, the Detroit Pistons get blown out. Like they don't lose, they lose big. And it was pretty much, there was not one game where there's an exception of this.
Right.
And last night, go ahead.
I saw a reel of, remember the from Game of Thrones, the Battle of the Bastards, where Jon Snow's standing in the middle of the
Yeah,
field and he's
yeah.
got the,
And all the
so,
horses are
yeah,
rushing
it was
towards him.
like Cade Cunningham. It was Cade Cunningham versus the Cavs, and everybody's coming towards them and whatnot. I mean, essentially that's what it was until this game.
Yeah. And honestly, looking at the Pistons last night, you just go, how how were they the number one seed in the East? And two, how did they get one game away from being in the Eastern Conference Finals? Because outside of Cade Cunningham, again, Duncan Robinson, 13 points. What is it? Jalen Duren, 7 points. Tobias Harris, 5 points. Asher Thompson, 5 points. Dennis Jenkins, 17 points. It's like all these guys were just there was nothing on the court. And then also on the other side with the Cavaliers, I've seen where it's like James Harden finally led his team to the Eastern Conference Finals. James Harden did nothing in this
He
game.
did
Did
nothing.
nothing.
Did nothing.
He was
He
he
turned over
was
the ball once, so kudos to him.
yeah, and he was 0 for 6 from 3, and then he did the classic James Harden, which I feel like he only does in the playoffs, and more specifically, only does in playoff games that matter. I felt like 7 times yesterday he would be going towards the basket, and then the ball would just fly out of his hands, and luckily one of his teammates would pick it up.
Yeah, those
It's
his
like I
so
never see him do that
his 6
outside of the
assists
playoffs.
his
Uh,
6
he
assists
yeah, I don't again, I
were all
don't
by
it's not even
mistake.
like he passes it. It's just like it falls out of his hands and then one of his teammates grabs it. Never see him do that during the regular season. Never see him do that in game 2. It's only game 6 and 7 and whatever game they need to close out. But obviously Donovan Mitchell 31 minutes at 26 points. Jared Allen had 23 points. Evan Mobley had 21 points. I don't know when I was watching this game. Obviously, I've been on this Cavaliers team for the past, I think, 3 years. I like Donovan Mitchell. I like what this team is, but watching them last night and watching them kind of this whole series, I'm just going, man, the Knicks are going to go to the NBA Finals. Like that is awful. I just again, I will be rooting for the Cavaliers like they're my team, but the Knicks already have opened game 1 as a 7.5 point favorite. And I think
Ugh,
that's fair because I just think this Knicks team, when you watch them play, is just so much better than this Cavs team.
yeah.
Like right now,
The
uh
Pistons and the Celtics, they let us down.
yeah,
They've let us
now we're
down.
gonna have to listen to New York fans for 3 weeks. The only satisfying thing is this Knicks team is absolutely going to get dog walked. I mean, the Cavaliers team would too. Either East team would get dog walked by either the Thunder or the Spurs. So no matter what happens in the Eastern Conference Finals, this is like the Super Bowl last year where it was like whoever wins the NFC title is going to be the Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going to happen unless there's some
I mean,
catastrophic
we
injury.
were talking about, it wasn't who it was with the Patriots. We were just like, who do we want to lose? Who do the Patriots have the best shot against? It wasn't who are the
Yeah,
Patriots going to beat,
yeah,
Who
exactly.
it was who do they have a better shot against kind of
And
situation.
And honestly, if you are the Knicks, you're kind of hoping you play the Spurs. Like if you're the Knicks
Yeah.
or the Cavs, you're kind of hoping you play the Spurs, but it's again, OKC has opened tonight in San Antonio at 6.5.
Yikes.
That seems insane. That seems like an insane line to me because
I mean,
I'm
yes, but
going,
no.
yeah, that's I mean, it is an OKC. So I don't know, 6.5. I would have honestly put this game at 3.5. And think I think the Thunder pull out game 1, but it is one of those things where again, during the regular season, these two teams played 5 times. That's the Spurs and the Thunder. The Thunder won one of those games. And the other there was one game they won, 2 games they won close, 2 games they got absolutely blown out. So the Spurs all season have had the Thunder's number, and the Thunder, again, they've looked better in the playoffs than the Spurs have. They've looked healthier in the playoffs than the Spurs have, but for some reason, every year it happens in sports all the time where it's just one team just has another team's number, no matter how good they are, no matter how many players they have. It's just one of those things. And for whatever reason, whether it's matchup nightmares, coaching, however you want to dissect what we've seen this regular season from those previous 5 games, the Spurs just have the Thunder's number. And everybody thinks it was going to be these two teams in the end, and everybody was picking the Spurs to upset the Thunder. So now it's, put up or shut up time. If the Spurs take game one, I really do feel like this could be like 5 or 6 game series and just the Spurs win 4-1 or 4-2. Like if the Thunder, let's say they just come out hot and just blow the doors off the Spurs, then I think it could go 7. I just don't see any scenario where the Thunder sweep the Spurs or vice versa. I think it'll at least be the one team wins 1 or 2. But yeah, whoever gets out of the West is obviously going to win the NBA Finals. And then the East, at this point, you just want it to be a good series. Like you just want it
Want
to
them
be
to show
fun.
up.
I would love for the Cavaliers to beat this Knicks team. And again, the Cavs have been to the NBA Finals a lot and have lost in the NBA Finals a lot because they were with LeBron, who again was his record was like 4-6 or no 4 no, he won one title in Cleveland. I think he was like 1-5 in
Mhm.
Cleveland in the NBA Finals. So Cleveland is used to get into the NBA Finals and then getting destroyed. So that might happen, but it's going to be interesting. Tonight, I do think the Thunder take game one, and then it's kind of all bets are off. But if Spurs take game one, the discussion about this series is there people are already going to be talking sweep. It's because only based on what we've seen in the regular season. Uh, Outside of that casino, anything else we got, or can we get out of here?
Happy International Museum Day.
I'm just gonna let that sit there. Just gonna
Yeah.
let that sit.
It came up on Google. Apparently, it's International Museum Day. So, yeah.
Wow, great. That's great.
Yeah,
Um,
that's pretty
I have
much
no,
the answer
I have
that,
no follow up for that.
is yeah, no, there shouldn't be. Who
But
who goes to museums and actually is excited? Like, I've been to plenty, but I just walk through 'em and I'm like, "Okay,
I
I
honestly I
couldn't
love
I
museums,
couldn't do
and
that."
the best museum I've ever been to is when me and my wife went to New Orleans. They have like a World War II museum. It's insane. And that's like the best museum
Did
I've
you
ever been
cry?
to. Huh? No. But they have like
I like
they
how you really
do
had to think about that.
well, because they do have like really like kind of like war simulation areas where it's like this is what it's like when this was happening. This is what it's like when this is happening. Like some of it is does get pretty like intense. So I don't remember the name of that museum, but today's National Museum Day, so go check out a museum. I don't know. Go to Cooperstown, go to Pro Football Hall of Fame. There you
Yeah,
go.
it's a museum.
Yeah. On that note, this has been the Only Sports Podcast. You really left me out to dry there, Casino. I don't know what the follow up you wanted me to be for museums.
There
Um,
wasn't. It was just that's what I threw out there.
I'm Will. That's Casino over there. We'll be back Wednesday to preview, or I guess to talk about what happened in Game 7, preview the rest of the NHL playoffs. I believe game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals is Wednesday night. So we'll just talk about game 7 and game 1 tonight, and then whatever else is happening. So this been the Only Sports Podcast. Will Casino over there. Adios.